So we got a new werewolf movie here from director Larry Fessenden, which I was excited for until I watched it, and I don't have a lot of good things to say, unfortunately. This was a bit of a bummer for me. I really was looking forward to this movie. We don't get a lot of werewolf movies. This is just something that we have come to accept at this point. Werewolf movies are not frequently made, and the ones we do get, a lot of them aren't very good. And unfortunately, this is going to have to go in that camp for me. This is not going to add to the very limited short list of good werewolf movies. We got a lot of familiar faces in here. My favorite one to see here was Mark Center, because I've been a big fan of him ever since I saw The Lost and Red, White, and Blue. Those would be my recommendations for you to watch instead if you haven't seen either of those films. Excellent, excellent movies. Dark, though. So anyone who is prone to get really upset with dark material, those get dark. This has to be one of the most boring werewolf movies I've ever watched. They decided that they were going to go for this super dramatic movie. And our main character here, he's like this artist who's in town, and it's like this small knit little community, and he's gonna leave town, and he's got this romantic relationship with this actress I know from the show Californication and some other things, but there's a lot of familiar faces like Barbara Crampton and whatnot. You can go on. There's tons of people that you'll recognize within the film, but they're all wasted. I found all of the drama to be so forced. I didn't like the lead guy at all. He was a dreadful lead for me, and I just was not invested in any bit of the story because I just never connected to what we were even doing within the town. Now, I will give the movie some credit because it has a few deaths that were pretty surprising in the moment. I was like, oh, we're killing them. That's unexpected. So I liked that, but nowhere near enough to care. As far as like all the characters, all the secondary characters, I just never cared. I could never buy into anything. I found a lot of scenes to be super dumb. There was a scene in the jail with how someone overtakes someone and then puts them in a jail. It's so dumb. I was like, what? How could that possibly work? That was Coach Schneider from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So as I said, there's a lot of familiar faces, but I don't give a shit. When you're not buying into anything, I don't care.
I don't think I hated it as much as you did, but I thought that for me, what I liked about the film is that because the main character is an artist, there was some cool like use of paintings. Yeah. And I actually really liked everything with that.
And animation.
Animation and paintings. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I didn't mind everybody's performance, but I agree with you. I think that the drama that's in this was a bit confusing for me. I think there's a lot of stuff that's happening within the town, and I think there's an attempt to make this kind of tight-knit community feel very everyone has ulterior motives or a secret or there's something going on with almost everyone, and I found it a little hard to follow and kind of unnecessary because I think that don't get me wrong, there's definitely werewolf movies, vampire movies too, where the vampirism or the lycanthropy or whatever is a metaphor for other things, and there's drama happening, and sometimes that can work, but with this one I found that it felt, like I already said, unnecessary because it just was a straight werewolf movie. There was no is it a werewolf or does this mean something else? At least for me, I didn't get that impression at all. So having all the extra stuff happening kind of in the background of the main character was just, it seemed to overload the film. I also didn't like how the werewolf looked.
No, I didn't either at all.
There is an image and a werewolf in this that we see that looked interesting. I liked that there was
that was towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end. That one I like the look of quite a bit, actually, but that's not what the other one looks like, which was also kind of confusing because I was like, I don't know why they don't both look like
similar,
the same.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So
look more like Teen Wolf in this.
I did like the setting of the town, like that. I thought it looked nice. Like there's, I don't know, it felt. I mean, I liked it. I liked the setting, but I just think that it was, like, there's so many things that were lackluster about the film, unfortunately.
The film is just hollow as hell. I didn't buy into the depth of any character or any plot line. I just felt so disconnected from everything, and everything felt so forced. It was like added drama for drama's sake. And it sucks because the opening of this film, the first, like, minute, has this really cool showcased kill that's kind of like black and white-ish with like a really good streak of red for blood. And I was like, oh, we got some style going on here. This could end up being very cool. That almost felt a little reminiscent to Marvel's Werewolf by Night, where they did that all in black and white. From that moment on, we went into the opening credits, and from there on, I genuinely did not give a shit about anything for the rest of the film. I found our main protagonist here to just be so boring and uninteresting, and it just left me feeling so disconnected and uninterested in everything that was going on.
It almost felt like there was two movies. Like there was like a small town like drama romance thing happening, like a soap opera-y kind of thing, and then there was like the werewolf story, and so I feel like it just didn't match up.
Here's the best review I can get for this movie, and this happens every once in a while, and I think this speaks volumes. In fact, this is pretty much all I needed to say about this film in the beginning, and that would tell you everything that you need to know. When we went to sit down yesterday to record our reviews, we completely forgot we watched this.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know what else you need to hear. Like, completely forgot that we even watched this movie within like a day.
Yeah.
That's bad. When you forget you watched a movie yesterday, and we watch a lot of shit, but I didn't forget anything else we watched, and I usually don't. But it's always those movies. Anytime we forget to review a movie, 99% of the time, it's because it was terrible. Yeah. Every once in a great while, for some reason, we're like, oh, why didn't we review? We loved that.
Yeah.
You know, that has happened, and I think it's just because we watched 7 other things before. But this one, no. This one was just exactly that. It was that forgettable. So, anyway, that's that. I don't want to harp on the film anymore. Really subpar effort here, in my opinion, and a very bad werewolf movie in general, because, you know, if you can't land the werewolf in a werewolf movie, then who cares? And I didn't like anything else either, so big no for me. She seemed to like it more, but from what she's saying, it doesn't seem like she liked it much more.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it that much. I definitely didn't like it that much. I just felt maybe, well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, okay. It definitely doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, no. No from me. No from her.
Yeah.
Check it out at your own peril. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.